Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. So we have a new hatcher here, or maybe a renewal of an old one, and this is the Neon Genesis Evangelion collaboration hatcher. And I have been waiting for this for years, basically. I was playing the English version until pretty recently, and they didn't get any of the licensed collaborations from the JP version. But I would follow the news, and I'd look at the players playing the quests and using the characters, and I was very jealous. But finally, I'm playing the JP version. Evangelion has come back, so I am going to go deep into this one. As you can see, I have the orbs ready for this. But before I pull, which I will do in a separate video, I thought I would just do an overview of the characters and then the quests that are going on now. So let's go into here, the monster Pedia, and then we'll go in order of kind of history, like when they came out. Let's see, it's like 1200 something. Okay, here we are. Okay, so there are three kind of main hatcher monsters. One is Asuka here, and then if we look at her evolution version, not that great. But one thing about all of these Evangelion monsters is that they have an ability called Synchro. And what that is that it's a barrier, kind of similar to Lucifer's barrier. Maybe it blocks maybe 2,000 damage at the beginning of every stage, which is less than Lucifer's 10,000. And then also gives them Shito Slayer. And then those are the angels, and then they have a lot of like extreme quests. So the Eva pilots are very good for those Shito stages. And yeah, the other characters, here was Shinji. Yeah, alright. Grow up, man. Here was the evolution version, and then he had an ascension version here, so two versions on him, both of them very different, so both of them worth using. And then here was a second ascension version, also worth using, so it was good to get a few of Shinji. And then there was also Amakusa Rei. There is her evolution version, and then some 4-star hatcher monsters, one being Mari here, and then another being Kaoru. And yeah, all of these hatcher monsters, they are the base for the new Transcendent Forms that were announced on Sunday. So these are the ones that I'm going to be aiming for when I do roll. But they are definitely outclassed by their new Transcendent Forms, these old versions, so they're not really worth keeping, except for maybe like nostalgia's sake. And then here we have a few of the drop monsters. Here's Angel number 6, can be a 5-star. And then we have Angel number 9. This one I don't really recommend as a max luck. No null abilities, just has the Demi-Hume Slayer. And then here was Angel number 10, just a bounce with null damage wall, not that special, but he'll have another version, so we'll take a look at that later. And then here, this is Angel number 13, and then when this guy first came out, he was awesome. One of the very, very few drop monsters at that time to have Pierce with null warp and null gravity barrier. And yeah, he's really good for Izanami. But now there are many, many better options, so you don't need to work on this guy if you haven't already. And then here is Pen Pen. Unfortunately, this guy is not available this time around in the Eva collaboration, so if you do have him, he is worth hanging on to. Okay, so that was part 1, and then maybe like a year or so later they did part 2, and then one of the things they added was the Ascension version for Asuka. And she was on the top 10 strongest fire monsters for a really long time. She's really good for like Kushinada and stuff. She has null warp. And then a very strong bump combo, the same as Ibaraki Doji, the blast bump plus the piercing homing super shot. And a very strong strike shot. It's like a meteor strike shot. Does a lot of damage. And then there was the Ascension version of Amakusa Rei. Not so hot. Just a bounce with null damage wall. So-so bump combo. And then we got new characters that were like mixes of Eva characters and Monster Strike characters. So this one here, this is a 4-star. This is a Shinji Atosu. And this guy is worth rolling the Hatcher just all by himself. He's got the Synchro, so he gets the barrier. He has Recovery S and Null Damage Wall. His bump combo is the Speed Up. And this is not Speed Up S. This is the full power Speed Up, so very rare. And then his strike shot is the same as like a Dear Lotte, where teammates that he hits gets that very big boost to their attack. So this guy is amazing, and people use him in a lot of high-level quests, like Shambhala or Floor 37 of the Tower of Champions, and crazy stuff like that. So I will definitely want to be going after this guy. Another one... Here is another 4-star Hatcher monster. This is Mari plus Apollo X. Bounce with no gravity barrier, Bitten Breaker, Drone Breaker, and then the lock-on one-way laser. So she's decent. And then for the 5-star Hatcher monsters, we have Amakusa Shiro and Rei together. She is a bounce with Minesweeper, and then the bump combo, which is like the cross laser, and then a strike shot, which is very cool, where she creates a big shield around herself and blocks all attacks, and it lasts quite a while actually. So as you all probably know, I'm a very defensive player, so this strike shot is very appealing to me. And then of all of the Evangelion characters, she has my favorite strike shot voice, so let's listen to that. Okay, very cool. Yeah, sometimes it's like I think it's a licensing contract or something. The strike shot voices for collaboration characters, they're turned on like during the event and for maybe a few months after that. But I guess because the licensing runs out or the contract runs out, when you hit their strike shot voice, it's just like the washing sound. So yeah, take this chance now to listen to the strike shot voices of everybody. And then another kind of new 5-star Hatcher monster is Osku and Ariel, and she is a bounce with no gravity barrier and the speed up bump combo and a command strike shot plus buff. So she's also really good. And then here is Kaoru and Lucifer. He has 2 versions. The Evolution has the Pierce with no warp, so he could be good for Eden. And then the Ascension, he is a Pierce with no gravity barrier, speed up again, and yeah, also pretty good. And then here, this is the Ascension version for the Angel number 10. And same thing basically, except better bump combo, and maybe better stats, I forget. But I wouldn't really recommend making the max luck of him. It's not super necessary. And then here, they did Drop Monster collaborations as well. This is Ra plus Angel 6. She is a bounce with no warp, the water type. So she could be good for Avalon. But there are lots of other better choices. And then for this collaboration, it's shorter than the previous Eva collaborations. So you're not going to have as much time to make the max lux. So you probably want to pick like the 1 or 2 max lux that you really want to make and then just work on those. And if I remember, Raw is the kind where it drops only 1 drop per run. So you're really not going to have time to make Raw, I think. The one that I'm the most interested in is the Death's Coil plus Angel number 9. Basically same stats as Death's Coil. HP and attack are a little higher, I think, and the speed's a little lower. Bounce with no gravity barrier, and then the AT field. which is that same barrier as Synchro. Blast Pump combo, which is nice for the support, and then the tackle strike shot. So yeah, basically Death Coil plus barrier. And yeah, he's basic, but I think he's pretty solid, so I'm going to make him. There's also Da Vinci plus Angel number 10, and Da Vinci is one of my favorite characters in the game, but I don't think I'm going to make the max look of her. She is a Pierce with a null damage wall, which is really good, but her attack is so low that I don't know if she's worth using, so I'll probably get the one drop of her and then move on. And then I think that's it for part 2 of the collaboration. And then we'll move down here to the bottom and look at part 3. So here we have Asuka's Transcendent Form. So she will get the 2-tier strike shot, the 2 bump combos at the full power, and then the 2 slots for Able Berries. And then as compared to her Ascension version, she keeps the Synchro and the Null Warp, of course, but she picks up Null Magic Circle as well. So that makes her really good suddenly for Izanagi or Akasha. Still really good for Kushinada, of course. Bump combo gets upgraded as well. She still has the homing piercer shot, but the number of shots has been increased from 8 to 12, so that's pretty crazy. That's a 50% increase. And then she still has the blast bump combo, but it's the super blast, like Cleopatra has. And so if we look at the damage from here, it's 14,000. That means it's an actual source of damage now, so you kind of want to position her close to her target. And then the strike shot is the same. She throws the swords around and then does a meteor. But it picks up the chain meteor mechanic, where the more targets she hits, the more damage it does. So yeah, just across the board, she's been improved. Next we have Shinji. This is the Transcendent Form of his blue version. He keeps the Synchro and the Null Gravity Barrier, but he picks up a Null Magic Circle as well. So that makes him good for like floor 31 of the Tower of Champions. Big whoop, but the way that they usually design these collaboration Hatcher monsters is that they will suddenly become very useful in new quests in like the next 3 to 6 months. So maybe we can start to expect some quests with this, null gimmick becoming necessary. Bump combo is also upgraded. He has the cross rebound laser EL. That's the same as Merlin, although Shinji is a balance type. And then he's also got the Pierce lock-on wave, which is not exciting but pretty strong. And then the strike shot is new. He gets speed and power up, and then his teammates that he hits, they are cured of any status ailments, including becoming a chick from the magic circle. This is brand new. There's never been a thing to kind of heal the chick status, except for stepping on the magic circle again. So that's pretty cool. And charges up quickly too, only 12 turns for the first tier. So that might be pretty useful. Okay, and then we get the double Transcendent Form. Here's the other Ascension version, the light version. Pierce with a Null Gravity Barrier and Synchro, same as before, but picks up Minesweeper. So that greatly increases his versatility. Bump combo also upgraded, of course. He's got the Super Spread, one of the most powerful spread shots. And then the lock-on one-way laser EL. So that's good. That's like, that's like Susanoo or Lancelot X, so pretty strong. Light element as well. And then the strike shot, Shinji and Kaoru, they split and then they fly around the screen. And then the enemy closest to Shinji, when Shinji stops moving, gets a spear, the Longinus spear. Gets some extra damage there. And yes, I'm very interested in getting all of these guys. And then here is the Transcendent Form of Rei. And then this is based off of her evolution version, the Bounce with Null Warp. Still has Synchro. I think she still had a Laser Stop from before. But now she has Recovery M, so she's a very good support character. bump combo. She's got the lock-on trident laser. If you've used Kushinada Zero, you know this is pretty popular, powerful. But hers is at full power, so that's nice. And then she's got the spread shot, which I think is the same as Satan, so that's pretty powerful. I think that's like 50,000 damage a turn or something. And then strike shot, her teammates that she hits get attack up, and then also the AT field. So again, that's a really nice defensive ability. So yeah, that was a quick look at the Hatcher monsters. And then finally, we have only one new drop monster, and that is Misato. And then she is a fire element, pierce with no gravity barrier. And there are very, very few red drop monsters that are pierced with no gravity barrier. The other one that I can think of is Rasetsu Ascension, and he's fine, but his stats are low. Misato has better stats than him. And then she also has a Recovery S, which is nice, especially since she is a Pierce. She also has the Plasma Bump combo, which is great for a drop monster. And then a Tackle Strike Shot, it looks like. And I will definitely be making the max luck of her as well. So yeah, that was a quick overview of the new Eva and the old Eva, Hatcher monsters and drop monsters. For people that were debating whether to pull the Hatcher, I would say at this moment, none of these characters are overpowered or necessary. Maybe the closest one is Asuka Transcendent, but yeah, I think depending on how the next 3 to 6 months go, we're going to see how powerful these characters are. But at the moment, these characters are not super current, I would say. They're good for maybe older quests. But yeah, hopefully you enjoy the collaboration. If you pull the Hatcher, hopefully you get good luck there. And yes, next video I will be pulling. Alrighty, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.